Okay, we are live and we would be discussing on this particular application of the virtual reality. Perhaps it's not filed in other countries. Folks can use this to develop their own protocols in whatever way. And let's try and understand this particular application. If you have any questions, put your questions in the comment box and somebody will definitely reply. Okay, let's see. Okay, so particularly, we were talking about this application. Just give me a moment. I will write it down for you guys. This is United States. US stands for United States. 2018. On the timeline, we are in 2025. Okay, so you can look into this application, and I will walk you through the figures first. It talks about virtual world engine. Then it has virtual world API, that is application programming interface. And then there is virtual event engine. There is virtual broadcast engine, and this broadcast engine is basically having different modules. One module is video generation module, video redundancy module. It's not very clear. Audio module, blah blah blah. I'll walk you through the claims. I just want to touch base on the other aspects. If anybody joins in, is good enough. Otherwise, we'll just drop this down. Okay, how it is being played. We'll just talk about the overall landscape of this particular application. It has a data center and the gaming system is deployed there. So the satellite playout distribution happens, and there is a client uplink center whereby you have the desktop or anything which can be utilized. Client playout system. Then there's a client encoder. You have to uplink the same. So there's a lot of uplink and downlink in this particular server application. There is So the client can be located in any locations. That's the best part. The only thing is you need a communication network, and here we are actually uplinking it uh, with satellite playout distribution. I think I should be using a little bit of this here and there. Just give me a moment. I'll just save this for my future reference. Like this, I can use this for some other application also. So that's the beauty of pattern applications. You can use it the way you want to use it. Okay, then we have probability modules. There's a game database. Then there are odds calculation module. You have the master probability engine, and the probability engine here, particularly, they are not going to the nth one. Generally, the way I had done the framework way back means way back. I'm not getting to the year. Uh, Probability engine A, B, C, D, E, and F. And when we talk about F, let's take F as flute for today. So it's for horse riding. We know for horse riding, there's a lot of betting involved. It's always not the question whether it's a horse or the jockey, it's a combination of both. Okay, so this is basically Piccadilly Park. And they are talking about this race and the proximity, blah, blah, blah. Pride, probabilities. Okay. So there are 8 frameworks. Oh, they have Irish action. Number 8, that is 7 dot not whatever works. 7 dot not 5. 6 is Queen Pearls 4.2. Vivid Legacy 4.45. Genesis 21.20 easily. 3.75 let out is 21, and the pride one, the probability which is high is 26.70. So 7, then we have data screen system options. um okay, I like this. It's quite simple that way. uh semantic stuff. Then we have, okay, let's talk about the bottom line of this particular application. It's basically end-to-end pipeline where there is breeding and training of the virtual athletes. It simulate races in a persistent world, broadcast them with ultra efficiency, let people bet on them in every mainstream format, all without any single human player touching the action. That's so profound. Um, okay, Monte Carlo. So we were talking about the branding part with this whole discussion, and this particular stuff we need to look into. I don't know how many people even understand there's a brand Monte Carlo in India, and Monte Carlo can be filed in different classes also. But from the clothing point of view, Monte Carlo was one of the finest brand in the 90s. Now, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, so this is a co-working area, so we hear we hear songs from so everybody's quoting something or the other. Where were we? Okay, we were at the Monte Carlo stuff. So this Monte Carlo, uh, give me a moment. Okay, I need to gather my thoughts. So this Monte Carlo, I will just zoom zoom out. uh, okay, so this Monte Carlo brand. This is bad one. Okay, where was I? Oh my god. Okay, coming back to the point here is we were talking about Monte Carlo. So there are 45 classes of trademarks, and that's the nice classification, which is the international trademark classification. And particularly, uh, a easy strategy is to file in every class, even if you're not working. That was the thought process before the lockdown and anything and everything. But now, with the rampant I would say the infringement of intellectual property rights, even the trademarking doesn't hold good. So, what is important here is to understand how you can just leverage because customer for Monte Carlo clothing brand would be different from Monte Carlo, which is a drink or a beer or a perfume for that matter. Okay, let's come back to this. um, Before the public is seeing anything, this particular application which we talked about, the system is running 1,000 ghost simulations, turning the result into a probability curve and translates the curve into the opening odds and the final payout tables. So it's basically a built-in betting shop, or bettors worldwide can place fixed odd signals, uh, pari mutual pools, peer-to-peer exchange bets. Now, this is very important. Here is where if you look into the landscape of the Indian documentation of these governments and everywhere, anything and everything, wherever this word peer-to-peer, plus P-E-E-R, peer-to-peer, that has to be removed. I mean, uh, P2P understanding is very different for different peoples, and this can be utilized in zillion ways. So then we have obviously jackpots and the pick six and stuff. The other day I talked about remove 777 as a jackpot number and see what can happen. Then we have this ultra light broadcast. The rendered race is chopped into tiny packets that can travel over 56 kilobytes dial up line, yet reassemble on the far end of the full HD video with multilingual commentary. Because if anything has to be, have a notion of understanding, it has to be multi-language in real time. Then only it works at a global scale. Then the data feed, the same program publishes all handicapping data. So handicapping data is basically the odds, the venue condition, the historical forms of any format, which includes your XML or JSON files, TV ticker, and the like. I love and the like. You'll see very often in most of my frameworks. Then we have living virtual athletes in this arena. So athletes are persistent beings. They are train, age, retire, breed offsprings in the virtual world. It's very interesting. Um, their stats evolve stoichiometrically. Venues are also 3D that can change with the weather, wear and tear and stuff. The algorithm which they are utilizing, which might not be proprietary, let me tell you, it is always the orchestration of how you are dealing it with real time data. Again, the input data has to be correct in every format. Uh, the algorithm picks up who shows up for each event. Uh, then we have sports type. The system can stage any skill based head to head sports, which includes horses, F1 cars, greyhounds, UFC's fights, soccer, even lacrosse. I haven't played. Did I play this game? हाँ पांडे जी शाम हो गई बस 10 मिनट दीजिए हो गया मैं ऑनलाइन हो गई Okay, then we have broad method. So reinstating, creating a non-interactive virtual sport that looks like the real thing, but it is 100% computer generated. And co-programming, we'd already talked about it, which is, I would rather say this framework is applicable to anything and everything. It is stored on a disk or server. It pulls athlete, horses. It's not talking about jockeys though. Uh, Pulls athlete, horses, drivers, genes from a breeding and a training database. Let them race, fight, play without any human joystick or life coaching. So no life coaching is involved. Output the finished content in real time for betting, exchange fixed odds. It's very simple. So we are in the process. So as I said, I'm training my team, which is fully remote and which is outside India, in terms of just understanding how different applications can be developed and can be utilized to solve the SDG goals. And that will be one of the main mandates. It comes under the ABC, that is Agriculture Bank of China. And Agriculture Bank of China is one of the, I have to see the data set, what's happening right now. But uh, I happened to visit them when I was in China way back. So, honestly speaking, I don't know if we have in Delhi any bank particularly looking into the agriculture. Apart from what I remember is Kisan Vikas Patra and all that stuff, which is part of the Indian Post Office for the longest time. So all these NSEs, Kisan Vikas, yes, Kisan Vikas, and all these were something which was done early. I mean, before all these share markets and everything came into existence, this is how India used to progress. I mean, people used to invest into India by buying these bonds, so that helps the country to uh, look forward. So Kisan Vikas Patra, yeah, that is there. And there's one more which I have taken, that is Government of India, which comes under president. Maybe I'll share that maybe tomorrow. But good day so far as far the data is concerned. I'm happy with the data set, and it is like it's a user manual or a playbook to be seen as far as somebody is trying to do something with the data set in terms of upscaling people, because to upscale people uh, through fun is the best thing. I mean, that way the learning capacity is much more as compared to anything else which is available right now. And that is where the The education pattern in India is totally broken. We all know about it. I'm not getting into it. But to upscale someone with the data set, this is the easy way out. Thank you for watching out the video. If you have any questions, put your questions. We will respond. Thank you.